Okay, let's truly unpack this. You know, that universal feeling, right? Wanting to achieve something genuinely big, something deeply meaningful in your life.
Yeah, definitely. It could be anything. Starting a business, learning a new skill.
Exactly. Or maybe a big personal change. There's that, that fire inside.
Mm-hmm.
And for so many of us, the first instinct, it's almost automatic, is to share it. We want to talk about it.
We get excited, tell friends, family, maybe plaster it on social media.
Yeah, we look for that encouragement, that early validation from everyone. It feels good, feels like you're already moving.
Right, that little rush.
But what if that instinct, the very thing that feels so natural, is actually holding us back? What if the most powerful move, the one that really gets you there, is the one nobody sees coming?
Interesting. So silence is a strategy?
Exactly. What if the best path isn't paved with all those public announcements, but with, profound and unwavering silence? Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into an audiobook that really provocatively challenges that very instinct. It's a book that seems to have shifted perspectives for a lot of listeners. Never tell people what you do. Focus in silence, win in public.
All right.
This deep dive is all about exploring that profound strength, the one you find not in, external fanfare or getting likes, but in quiet, consistent, deeply personal action.
It's a journey into that power of unannounced commitment.
Yeah, and how building that internal discipline can become like the ultimate engine for real, lasting transformation in your life.
What's truly fascinating about this audiobook, I think, is how it lays out this really clear, but almost counterintuitive blueprint for building real success, lasting success.
How so?
Well, it fundamentally shifts the focus away from needing that external validation or, generating all that social buzz. Instead, it directs your energy inward.
Towards internal commitment.
Exactly. Internal commitment and that silent, focused discipline. So for you, our curious listener, maybe someone who really values absorbing new ideas and growing personally, this deep dive offers a kind of shortcut.
A shortcut to understanding these core principles of transformation.
Right. And crucially, how to actually apply them. It's interesting. An audiobook itself is kind of a perfect example of this philosophy.
How do you mean?
Think about it. It gives you direct, often very personal, and totally private access to powerful ideas. There's none of the usual noise or distraction from the outside world.
Ah, I see. It's quiet learning.
Exactly. It lets you quietly integrate these profound concepts into your daily life. It becomes part of your internal journey, not some kind of public performance.
Absolutely. And throughout this deep dive, we're going to explore really practical, actionable strategies. Things like staying incredibly focused, especially when the world feels designed to distract you.
Which it often does.
We'll look at how to protect your energy, stop it draining away unnecessarily, and ultimately how to make that key shift from just performing for others
The appearance of progress
to actually producing tangible results that speak for themselves, really.
It's a really compelling argument, isn't it? Turning inward to get those outward results.
It really is. And I think it resonates deeply with anyone who values continuous learning, self-improvement, especially those who appreciate accessible, personal formats like audiobooks.
Yeah, formats that invite that quiet thought, that allow you to really absorb ideas without disturbance.
Right. So the audiobook, it wastes absolutely no time. It grabs you right from the start with this bold, almost confrontational declaration.
It really does.
Imagine starting your day, headphones on, maybe on your commute, and hearing this direct challenge. Close your mouth and get serious about your life.
Wow, yeah, no messing around.
It's designed to hit you immediately, isn't it? It sets this really uncompromising tone. And it highlights what the author sees as this crucial difference between just talking about stuff
And actually doing the work.
Yeah.
Committing to the grind.
It's less a suggestion, more like a direct, almost unapologetic call to action. It just bypasses all the usual pleasantries and goes straight for the core of personal responsibility, authentic progress.
Yeah, it's not theoretical. It's about a radical shift in how you approach your ambitions. And that immediately brings up a really fundamental question, doesn't it? For anyone trying to achieve something, why does talking about our goals so often seem to paradoxically get in the way of actually achieving them?
It seems counterintuitive, yeah.
The audiobook offers a really insightful angle here. It suggests that talking about a goal is, it's easy. Much easier than the actual doing.
True.
And critically, it gives you that quick hit of confidence. Now, this isn't just feeling good for a second. Psychologically, it's like a little dopamine rush.
So your brain gets rewarded just for the planning and announcing.
Exactly. It sort of tricks you into feeling like you've already made progress. And that feeling, that artificial sense of accomplishment, can unfortunately sap your actual motivation, your drive to put in the real hard effort.
So it mimics progress, but doesn't deliver.
Precisely. The real turning point, according to the book, isn't getting that external pat on the back. It's making a profound, quiet decision inside your own mind.
An internal commitment.
An intensely personal reckoning. A promise you make to yourself, completely free from needing permission, approval, or applause from anyone else. That internal, unannounced shift, that's what truly changes everything. It separates real commitment from just, wishful thinking or performing.
It's so relatable, isn't it? I mean, who hasn't done this? We get all excited, announce a new fitness routine online.
Or tell everyone about that big creative project we're finally starting.
Or that really tough subject we're determined to master this time. And that immediate feedback, the likes, the comments, wow, good for you. It feels so validating.
It does feel good in the moment. It's that quick, intoxicating hit.
But what this audiobook powerfully suggests is that very feedback, that early, often unearned validation, it can inadvertently drain your long-term drive, your follow-through.
Because you've already tasted the reward.
Yeah, exactly. Without actually having to do the hard part. It's like getting paid before the job is done. Suddenly, doing the job feels less urgent, less necessary.
And this insight is super relevant for anyone on that continuous learning path, especially if you rely on things like audiobooks for growth.
How so?
Well, think about your own habits. Are you maybe spending more time talking about what you plan to learn? The stack of books you intend to read, the online courses you mean to start.
Guilty as charged sometimes.
Right, or the complex skills you aspire to develop. Are you talking about them more than actually doing the quiet, often solitary work? The study, the reflection, the practice. The book argues that real progress starts when you go quiet. It's in those silent hours when you're just absorbing, thinking, practicing, applying the new stuff.
Yeah.
That's where the genuine understanding, the real growth happens.
And that links back to the audiobook experience itself.
Totally. That quiet internal process is often exactly why audiobooks are such a powerful tool for self-improvement. They let you engage deeply, integrate the knowledge into your own thinking, make those intellectual leaps, all without needing an audience or having to articulate your progress constantly.
It's personal assimilation, not public declaration.
Precisely. Learning by stealth in the best possible way.
So, building on that initial strong premise of close your mouth, the audiobook then really hammers home the importance of daily, unannounced commitment to action.
It's not just about not talking, it's about doing.
Right. It emphasizes that this consistent, quiet effort is the real game changer. It's what genuinely separates the ones who really want it from the ones who are just talking.
The doers from the talkers.
Yeah. It's not about grand gestures or making big public statements about your intentions. It's about the relentless, often quite mundane actions you take, day in, day out, especially when no one's watching.
That invisible work that eventually creates very visible results.
Yeah.
And what's truly fascinating there is this almost philosophical idea that quiet action repeated consistently is what builds results that speak louder than anything you could ever say.
That's powerful.
It fundamentally shifts the whole focus, doesn't it? Away from needing external validation towards internal accountability. It's about knowing deep down that you're building something meaningful for yourself.
For your own growth, not for likes or group chat updates.
Exactly. When you take away the external audience, your motivation becomes much purer. It's driven by this innate desire for mastery, for self-improvement, not by what others think or whether they're impressed.
And that internal drive must be more resilient, right? More sustainable.
Absolutely. It's forged in that quiet space. It's far more durable than any external push could ever be. It's the difference between playing a role and truly becoming someone new.
And the audiobook, it's actually quite specific about what these quiet actions look like, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets practical.
It says directly, every workout, every journal entry, every chapter read, every focused hour, these are the building blocks. It's not about needing some huge breakthrough every single day.
No, it's the accumulation, the small, deliberate efforts stacking up.
And it's stresses showing up, consistently. Whether you're tired, stressed, busy, or bored, it's about cultivating that mental toughness to just do it, even when your feelings aren't cooperating.
It's the opposite of waiting for inspiration to strike.
Totally. It's about actively creating your own momentum through sheer, consistent, quiet will.
So, if we connect this to the bigger picture of personal growth,
Yeah.
what does this all really mean for us, for you listening?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
It represents this really profound, powerful shift. Moving away from relying on those fleeting external things, applause, recognition, even fear of public failure, and instead developing an unshakable internal drive, an engine fueled by self-discipline and deep commitment.
And that links back to audiobooks again.
I think so, yeah. This is why so many people find audiobooks invaluable companions. They just seamlessly allow for that quiet, personal consumption and integration of ideas into daily life.
Right, you absorb it privately.
An audiobook becomes part of that unannounced, consistent work. You listen on your commute, while walking, exercising, maybe quiet evenings. It lets you transform from the inside out, building knowledge, changing your perspective, all without needing a single public announcement.
It's learning by stealth. I like that.
It really is.
Okay, so moving beyond just that initial call for silence, the audiobook really digs into the mindset you need for that daily, consistent, quiet effort.
Yeah, the psychology behind it.
It makes the point that it's not about flashy moments, not about things designed to go viral. It's about the deep, steady, almost invisible work that happens when no one's looking.
And the author argues, quite simply, that while it might not feel exciting, this approach just fundamentally works. It's the most reliable way to create real, lasting change.
Recognizing that big shifts often start with small, unglamorous steps.
Exactly. And the core insight here, which is so vital, is that real progress always starts the moment you stop waiting for motivation and start showing up with discipline.
That hits hard, because we all wait for motivation sometimes.
We do. It's a common trap. The book insists consistency is non-negotiable, even when it's uncomfortable, even when progress feels painfully slow, even when it feels like nothing much is happening.
It's easy to give up then.
Very easy. And it highlights this other trap. Most people, it argues, want to be seen working hard, but they don't want to actually do the work when no one is watching.
Ouch. That's quite an accusation.
It is, but there's a truth there, isn't there? True growth, the kind that reshapes your life, happens in those unseen moments of quiet perseverance, not under the spotlight. It's the hidden hours that build the eventual breakthroughs.
And the book gives such a vivid picture of this. It talks about the transformed person a year later, the one who's achieved amazing things.
Right, you see the result, not the process.
Exactly. You didn't see their 6 a.m. mornings grinding away, or the nights they chose work over comfort, skipping social stuff. You didn't witness the relentless discipline.
Because they weren't doing it for an audience.
Right. That unseen, consistent discipline built in quiet solitude, that's the absolute key. It's the invisible foundation for all visible success. It's the silent cultivation of a new self.
And this speaks so directly to you, our listener, especially if you think of yourself as a learner, someone who wants to absorb knowledge deeply, not just skim the surface.
How does it apply specifically to learning?
Well, it suggests it's not about endlessly hunting for the perfect platform or the most exciting topic or the trendiest study hack.
Okay.
It's about the consistent, quiet act of showing up to learn, to read, to listen, to practice, to reflect, day after day, even when it feels like a grind, even when the initial excitement fades.
That steady, unglamorous effort.
That's what truly deepens understanding, solidifies knowledge, and builds real expertise. It's in those quiet moments, maybe listening to an audiobook on your drive or wrestling with a tough concept alone. That's where the genuine intellectual muscle gets built.
Building on that idea of daily, quiet effort, there's a whole chapter on the power of private habit formation.
Yes, this is crucial.
And the book clarifies it's not about being secretive just for the sake of it. It's more strategic than that. It's about protecting your focus.
Protecting your focus, and maybe even more importantly, protecting the sheer honesty or purity of your effort.
Honesty of effort. What does that mean?
It means you're doing it for the right reasons, for the habit itself, for the growth, not for the performance or the external validation that comes from talking about it.
Okay, got it. So a strong habit is built by doing, not talking.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is the book's understanding that at the beginning of anything, your willpower is weak. New habits are like tiny, fragile seedlings.
Easily crushed.
Very easily. And the book argues powerfully that talking about it too soon can kill the momentum. Why? Because it invites this flood of opinions, potential distractions, maybe even premature judgments from others.
Yeah, people always have something to say, don't they?
They do. It's a subtle but critical psychological trap. So the book gives really simple, direct advice. You don't need to announce that you've started waking up early. Just wake up early.
Simple as that.
You don't need to tell people you're reading more books. Just read. The strength, the longevity of the habit isn't built in the announcement. It's built in the consistent private repetition away from all those external influences.
Letting it take root internally first.
Exactly, before you expose it to the weather, so to speak.
And the source really drives home that when you work in silence, you gain several really crucial advantages, often overlooked ones.
Like what?
First, you protect your energy. You're not constantly seeking validation, which is exhausting. Second, you avoid that trap of needing other people's approval for your own personal journey.
Which is incredibly freeing.
And maybe most importantly, you prevent that temptation to quit just because people aren't noticing or cheering you on. Because your motivation isn't tied to their applause.
Your motivation becomes internal.
Precisely. And this, the author argues, is how real change happens. It's forged in the daily grind, in the parts of your day no one sees. Those unobserved, consistent moments are where transformation takes root and eventually becomes irreversible.
So, zooming out again,
Yeah.
connecting this to self-mastery, lasting success. What's the big picture here?
Yeah, what does it all mean?
This is fundamentally about building self-trust. Real, deep, resilient self-trust. When you cultivate habits in silence, you don't need external reminders.
You become your own accountability partner.
Exactly. You don't need a reminder from the outside world to keep going. You've made a promise to yourself and you're keeping it. That internal accountability, that integrity to your own commitments, becomes this incredibly powerful, self-sustaining force.
Like an internal engine.
And that quiet discipline eventually blossoms into this unshaken, focused, intentional power that lasts. It's not dependent on fickle external opinions. And again, for listeners who use audiobooks, that quiet personal consumption mirrors this perfectly. You engage deeply, integrate it privately, make it part of your journey without broadcasting it.
A private path to profound change. I like that framework. Now, this next chapter, it tackles something huge. The energy drain of trying to impress people. Seeking approval.
Oh yeah, that's a big one for many people.
The audiobook is crystal clear. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You need to make progress. It draws this really stark line between living performatively
Always looking over your shoulder for validation.
and living productively, focused purely on genuine advancement. It's like freeing yourself from the treadmill of external expectation.
What's fascinating here is that sharp distinction it makes between progress and performance.
How does it define those?
It explains that constantly seeking validation slows you down, you lose focus, you forget why you started because now you're not doing it for your growth, you're doing it to be noticed.
That external focus becomes an internal distraction.
A huge one, diverting energy from the actual work. And it points out this uncomfortable truth. What really matters rarely looks exciting. Real progress often involves those unglamorous things, the early mornings, cutting out comfort, choosing discipline over instant gratification.
The unseen sacrifices.
Those are the real efforts that build meaningful, lasting change, far away from any spotlight.
And the source paints this clear, almost cautionary picture, right? Observing that the world is often full of people who talk a lot but do very little.
The performers, not the producers.
Exactly. They're focused on image, not growth. Stuck in this cycle of appearing successful rather than doing the hard, unseen work that actually leads there.
Addicted to the appearance.
Doing what truly matters, on the other hand, means consistently, unflinchingly asking yourself, looking at your daily habits, are these helping me get where I want to go?
A ruthless self-assessment.
And if the answer is no, the book says, change it. Now, not later. It's an urgent call for decisive action.
And for you, the learner, this is incredibly practical, potentially transformative.
How so? Specifically for learning.
It means consciously separating the desire to appear knowledgeable, maybe dropping facts, talking about complex subjects you're supposedly studying,
We've all seen that.
from the actual, diligent, often very quiet work of becoming genuinely informed. True mastery, the book suggests, isn't about the applause for starting something or talking eloquently about your plans.
It's about the results.
It's about the quiet, deep satisfaction that comes from effective, often solitary learning. The kind that truly changes your perspective, builds undeniable competence, all without needing public praise.
And when you finally reach that point, when you stop trying to prove yourself, you gain this invaluable ability, right?
Yeah.
To filter out the noise.
Yes, an incredible superpower, as you called it. Filtering out unsolicited opinions, distractions.
The audiobook uses that great metaphor. You can't walk forward while constantly turning your head.
It perfectly illustrates that focused, singular path that real progress demands. Tunnel vision for your goals, undisturbed by all the chatter. And what's fascinating is the deep psychological insight. Opinions don't build skill. Opinions don't put in the work. People's criticisms, their advice, even their doubts. Often, it's not about you.
It stems from their own stuff.
Often, yes. Their own fears, their limitations, their unfulfilled ambitions. The book warns, every time you stop to respond to criticism or prove something to someone, you're taking time away from the real work.
It's an energy drain, a distraction.
A huge one. It siphons off mental and emotional resources that should be going into your progress. Our impulse to defend ourselves often pulls us away from our actual purpose.
So the advice from the source is pretty blunt, but liberating.
Very. Let them talk, let them wonder, let them guess. You've got to pass the walk, and you can't afford to be distracted.
Not ignoring out of spite, but out of necessity.
Exactly. And it powerfully emphasizes that those outside voices, critical or well-meaning, they actually get quieter the more you stay committed to your own path, your own consistent actions.
So your focus becomes a filter.
Precisely. Your unwavering, quiet work creates this kind of shield, letting you tune out what doesn't serve your vision. So connecting this to building an intentional life, what does it all mean? It's about cultivating profound internal clarity.
Wow.
And courage.
Unshakable courage.
When you consciously stop chasing approval and learn to silence that chorus of opinions, you're not trying to please everyone anymore. You're building a life that makes sense to your future self.
That self-reliance is key for deep learning too, isn't it?
Absolutely crucial. It frees you to pursue knowledge based on your genuine curiosity, your interests, your goals, not based on trends or what others expect or what looks impressive. It's a profound liberation, letting you truly immerse yourself without compromise.
Okay, this next principle, it might sound a bit harsh initially, handling struggles alone.
Yeah, that can be confronting.
But the audiobook argues that real strength is built when you look inward and decide to take control of what you can, especially during tough times. It's not about suffering silently for no reason.
No, it's about facing adversity head on, often alone, seeing it as a crucible for real growth, for character.
Seeing struggle as opportunity, not just a setback.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is this idea of consciously choosing strength over sympathy.
Strength over sympathy, explain that.
The source powerfully suggests some seasons in life require silence. Times when you need to sit with the struggle, not just to hide it, but to really learn what it's teaching you about yourself.
Challenging that modern instinct to broadcast every difficulty.
Right. It says, not every breakdown needs an audience. And it emphasizes this crucial point. You don't become stronger by avoiding the storm. You become stronger by learning how to stand in the middle of it and not give in.
So it's about transforming pain.
Using pain as fuel, not as an excuse for giving up. Leveraging adversity for internal development.
And the book offers a powerful question for those moments, right?
Yes, a deeply introspective one. What would the stronger version of me do right now?
That's not about being emotionless, is it?
Not at all. It's about pushing yourself past temporary discomfort into genuine character building. Recognizing that resilience, inner strength, they aren't built when things are easy.
They're forged in the fire.
Exactly. When you choose to face difficulties alone, quietly, and commit to learning from them, those private battles are where you discover your untapped strength. And for you, the learner, this has profound implications.
How so?
It implies that some of the deepest insights, the most profound understanding, doesn't come from just passively taking in info. It comes from wrestling with challenging concepts, overcoming intellectual hurdles on your own.
The quiet struggle.
It's in that quiet, focused struggle, grappling with a complex theory, debugging code, synthesizing conflicting info. That's when true comprehension solidifies. That's where you build the grit that turns struggle into strength.
It's not just building knowledge, but confidence in your ability to learn.
Precisely. Confidence that you can figure things out, even when it's hard.
So alongside handling struggles privately, the audiobook also really champions improving at your own quiet pace, not constantly comparing yourself.
Yes, a powerful counter-narrative to our fast-paced, comparison-driven culture.
It's about the long game, played in silence.
And what's truly fascinating is that liberating message. The truth is, nobody's path is the same, and the only timeline that matters is your own.
That takes the pressure off, doesn't it?
Immensely. The audiobook suggests silence protects your process. It creates a safe space for growth, allowing for mistakes, adjustments, without the burden of public scrutiny or feeling like a public failure.
An environment for honest improvement?
Exactly. The book states clearly. You grow when you stop rushing, when you stop comparing your start to someone else's middle. That frees you from that endless demoralizing comparison cycle
Redirecting energy inward.
toward your own mastery, not external benchmarks.
And the book has that lovely phrase, there's no prize for being the fastest, but there is peace in being the most grounded.
It's about finding satisfaction in the small wins, right? Those quiet, daily victories.
And sticking with habits, even when it's quiet, especially when it's quiet, because it's in that uncelebrated consistency that the deepest changes happen.
Those steady, unannounced steps just relentlessly accumulate into undeniable progress, built on internal strength, not external validation. So, connecting this to the bigger picture, mastery, a fulfilling life, what does it mean?
It means cultivating patience, self-belief.
Deep, abiding patience and unwavering self-belief in your own unique journey. And this mindset is so powerful for you, the learner. It frees you from that pressure to keep up, to measure your progress against others.
Allowing you to learn at your own pace.
Your optimal speed. To make mistakes privately, learn from them, integrate info thoroughly without feeling rushed or overwhelmed by what everyone else seems to be doing. It fosters peace and enables real depth.
Okay, so we've covered the silent effort, the private habits, ignoring opinions, handling struggles, pacing yourself. What's the culmination, the payoff?
The payoff is when your life itself becomes the undeniable proof.
The results speak for themselves.
Exactly. The audiobook paints this compelling picture. You just work, you build, you stay consistent, and eventually your life starts to change. It's not magic, it's the quiet revolution finally becoming visible. And the source emphasizes really clearly, people don't remember your plans. They remember what you finish, what you build, what you follow through on.
Outcomes over intentions.
It highlights that unique discipline that comes from doing the work without needing to be seen. And the deep, authentic confidence gained from putting in effort, even when nobody notices.
That confidence isn't just for show, it's real.
It's ingrained. Forged in that quiet, demanding crucible of consistent, unobserved action. It's the confidence of knowing, not just hoping or projecting.
And when that day comes and the results are undeniable, people will notice. They'll ask, what happened? How did you do that?
Curiosity, maybe even a little envy.
And the audiobook says the answer is beautifully simple. You've been working.
Understated, but powerful.
Not just now and then, not just when you felt like it, but every day on your own without distractions. It's the simple, unglamorous truth behind seemingly extraordinary change.
And for you, the listener, this is maybe the ultimate aha moment. Realizing that the deepest understanding, the most profound skill, it doesn't just come from consuming information.
It comes from application.
Quiet, consistent, often unseen application. The profound inner peace you earn from showing up every day. The confidence from doing hard things and not quitting. That's infinitely more valuable, more lasting than any external praise.
The satisfaction of knowing you built it yourself, brick by a quiet brick.
In silence. For yourself. By yourself.
So the audiobook concludes with this powerful, almost rebellious idea for today's world. Real success doesn't need a stage.
Yeah, it challenges that modern obsession with visibility.
It suggests the quiet ones, the truly focused people not broadcasting every move. They're the ones executing, making small moves daily, consistently, silently, relentlessly.
Doing what needs doing, day after day, no spotlight needed. They're playing a different game. And there's that deep psychological insight again. Announcing a goal often gives your brain a reward it hasn't earned yet.
That dopamine hit for planning, not doing?
Right. It feels like progress, but it's just the fleeting satisfaction of attention. The audiobook argues, when you win in silence, the reward is internal first.
And that protects your future efforts.
Yes, and your long-term motivation. Because when people don't know what's coming, they can't interfere. Your silence essentially becomes your shield.
A shield against doubt, distractions, even potential sabotage.
Exactly. Sabotage from others who might, even unwittingly, project their own limits onto you. It keeps your path clear and focused.
And this quiet approach, it also fosters humility, doesn't it?
A deep, authentic humility. When you achieve something through unseen effort, forged in your own private struggle, you don't feel the urge to throw it in anyone's face.
The victory is personal, not performative.
Earned through internal commitment, not public spectacle. And crucially, this path teaches you to truly trust the process itself. Because there's no constant instant feedback, no cheering section.
It is you in the work.
Building self-reliance, real grit, and that unshakable belief in your own capacity to change and grow. So connecting this to the bigger picture, what true victory really means. The audiobook powerfully argues it isn't just about the outcome, it's far more about the person you became to achieve it.
Internal transformation.
The genuine growth, the character, the competence, it's built in quiet, unseen places, away from the noise. And when the results finally show up, new knowledge, a mastered skill, a transformed life, it's not a surprise, it's not luck, it's not overnight, it's earned.
The undeniable result of countless hours of silent, dedicated effort.
And for you, the audiobook listener, this is such a powerful confirmation. That quiet, consistent dedication to absorbing and applying knowledge, often alone, no fanfare, that is the path to undeniable, deeply satisfying results.
Wow. So we've really explored the profound, maybe counterintuitive message of this audiobook today. We've unpacked this argument that real transformation, career, skills, just becoming a better you, that doesn't happen out loud.
Not in the performative spaces.
It happens most powerfully in the quiet. It's a really compelling call to action, isn't it? Prioritize discipline, consistent action over that urge to announce everything.
Build in silence. Let the results be your voice.
Let your results speak volumes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So consider this. Here at The Deep Dive, our whole mission is bringing you insights, knowledge, empowering you with information from all sorts of sources.
Right.
But this audiobook suggests the real power, the transformation, isn't just in getting the information. It's in acting on it. Silently, consistently, relentlessly. So what if the very act of not broadcasting your next big learning goal, your next habit, your next challenge, what if that's the secret ingredient to finally achieving it?
A provocative thought to end on.
What quiet action, what unseen effort will you take today? Something no one else will witness, but everyone eventually will feel the profound, undeniable impact of.